Welcome to this tutorial. My name is Xander. Now this tutorial is part of our Express.js Prisma ORM Query Fundamentals course. You can access this course playlist available for free on YouTube. For deeper learning, the full course is available for purchase at Udemy. Find all the resources and links in this video's description. Now don't forget to subscribe to the channel for weekly promotions, discounts, and Udemy course giveaways. So next up, foreign keys. So in databases, a foreign key is a field or collection of fields that uniquely identifies a row in another table. So this is going to help us establish and enforce a link between the data in two tables where we have different relationships. So in this tutorial, we'll take a look at the one-to-many relationships, how to establish a one-to-many relationship using a foreign key. So a one-to-many relationship, which we have two here in our design, is a type of relationship where one record in one table is associated to or with multiple records in another table. So let's take an example here of products and category. One product is associated to multiple products. And what that means is that when we create a product, we will associate that product to a single category. But there will be multiple products connected to that single category, hence the one-to-many relationship. Now, in our database, we've decided that one product is only going to be associated to one category. Now, in your scenario, products might, in actual fact, be connected to multiple categories. So we may, in fact, have a many-to-many relationship between products and category. In this scenario, that's not the case. So a product is only going to be associated to one category in our scenario. So we do have another one-to-many relationship between users and orders. So one user might make many orders, and one order is going to be connected to one user. So we have a one-to-many relationship. So whenever we have a one-to-many relationship, we would determine the many side of the relationship, here identified by the crow's foot. And we then, in the table that's correlated to the crow's foot or connected via the crow's foot, we supply and identify a foreign key. And this foreign key is going to store the value of the primary key of the category. In this case, the product is associated to. So imagine we had category and product table. We add a new product. So let's call this product ID 1 and some sort of PC. That's the name of the category. And then we add a new product. So when we add a new product, we now need to specify the foreign key, which should correlate to a primary key in the category. And then let's give this a name. So let's just go for Apple. So now what we've done here by specifying the foreign key in this product record, we've created a relationship between this data and the correlating data with the primary key 1. Right, so this is where it gets maybe unnecessarily complicated to create a foreign key. So in the product table, we add a new field name category, and then we're going to use the word category again. But actually, I'm going to use it in using a capital C to reference my model. Okay, because that's where I want to build a connection to. So category here, this is the model that the product is related to. Okay, so next up, we now need to specify a relation. So we use @relation. And then we can specify the name of the relation. In this case, let's just call this category. I tend to try and use the name of the first table and then the second table. I try and do that based upon the relationship. So this is a one-to-many from category. So I start with category in this case, and then I specify products, the name of the products table, and that clearly identifies this relationship category to products. Right, okay, so let's pause there for a second because we are essentially creating two components here. We are creating a relation field, and the purpose of that is to actually represent the relationship to the category model. So this will allow us to retrieve the full category object when querying for a product. Okay, so that's what we've created here in this category. Okay, so essentially here we've defined the relationship or defining a relationship to the category table from the product table. So now what we need to do is actually specify the field that's going to store the value in the product table that can be used to connect or build that relationship between the product and category table. So here we specify fields, and this is now where we actually specify the field in the database that would be created for this table. And that is going to be called category ID. So that's the actual field that's going to be created, and that's where we're actually going to store the value of the, in this case, category ID. And then we simply just need to specify which field we are connecting to in the category table. So, for example, in the product table, we insert, for example, ID1 in the category ID field. So we need to tell the database what field are we connected to from this relationship. So we add references and then specify the ID field in the category table. All right, so what we've just created here is a new field called category ID in the product table. That is going to be the field where we store the primary key of the corresponding category. Now, what we need to remember here is that in Prisma, we don't write any SQL queries. So in Prisma, we use JavaScript, and Prisma will automatically generate the SQL queries for us automatically. So we don't need to learn SQL to use Prisma. Now, because of that, Prisma needs to know additional information about the relationship between the product and the category table. Now, in order to provide all the information that Prisma needs to build the SQL behind the scenes when we run Prisma queries, Prisma needs that information about product and category and the relationship. And this is what we've just created here. So we've created this relationship information called category in the product, connected to the product model. And we've simply told Prisma that category refers to the fact that we have a one-to-many relationship between category and product. So it will be able to utilize this information that's generated, that we've just created, to know about the relationship and then to be able to query across this table and return data. Now we need to remember that Prisma is an ORM. It abstracts a lot of the inner workings of creating queries and extracting data and returning data so that we can just continue building our application without having to learn all this different language, the SQL language, and deal with certain things that Prisma provides us automatically. So because of that, this does look a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. But in short, what we're doing here is we're building a relationship. So Prisma knows about the relationship, and then we define the relationship. So we define the fact that we want to create a new field for our foreign key values called category ID, and that it references the ID, the primary key of the category table. Now I do apologize if I've made it sound as though Prisma will create this field for us. We actually have to manually create the foreign key field in the product table. So let's go ahead and add that, and let's assign it to a field type, in this case, integer. So we can run through that one more time with the users and orders, because we have a one-to-many connection relationship between orders and users. So for one user, there are multiple orders. The foreign key is over here in the orders table. Because the foreign key is in the orders table, let's go ahead and first define the relationship. So that's going to be called user. It's going to be to the user table. We then need to build our relation, and we can define the name for this. Alternatively, we can simply just first specify the fields. So the fields, remember, here we're just specifying, telling the database from what field in order to what field in user are we building the relationship to. So in this table, we're going to create a field called user ID, and that's going to reference the ID in the parent table, in the user table. Okay, so with that set, let's not forget the semicolon. With that set, we need to, of course, now make the field in this table. That's going to be an integer. Something else that we have in our database is a self-referring foreign key. If we take a look at the category table here, you can see we have this parent ID foreign key, and this is a self-referring foreign key. this foreign key is referencing the category primary key. This is allowing us to build hierarchical structure in the database. So let's imagine we have the category table, we have an ID, we have the foreign key, the self-referring foreign key, and we have a name. So we go ahead and create a new category called TV, and then what we want to do is create a subcategory. So by having a self-referring foreign key, it means that we can build a new record, say the second record, and we can refer and link to other records in the category table, thus creating a hierarchical structure, because what we have now is this TV, which is some sort of parent category, and then connected to that, we have now a subcategory. And of course, we can take that to as many levels as we want to go, because we can create a third record, and we can connect that to maybe the Sony category. And of course, then that creates the third level, and so on, to create this hierarchical structure. To implement this in our database models, well, that is very simple. It is the same process as building a normal foreign key. So here in the category, I've created this foreign key called parent ID, which is an integer. You can see it's going to be optional. So the question mark there is optional. And then I've made the reference to this relationship. Notice that we specify category. We refer to the same model, but it is optional, so we need to use the question mark here as well. And then we can define the relationship. So we've provided a name, and then we've gone ahead and identified the field in the table that holds the key, the value, and then we referenced it to the ID field. Remember, that's the ID field of the model that we specified. Okay, so we've now seen 3 examples of implementing foreign keys in our database. Now, there is something else that we need to implement in order for us to be able to migrate to the database, and that is to define the opposite relation fields. Now, this is something that we're going to discuss a little bit later in this module, because it does apply to not only one-to-many, but to one-to-one and many-to-many relationships, which we would discuss first.